This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to our Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Ostbeck. But before that, this video is brought to you by Coulier Farms and Optimus. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Ostbeck map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now before we dive into the description, I want to show you a website, and I'm going to link this down in our description of this video. But this map has a website. Now this website has not been updated in quite a little bit of time, so I do expect them to at some point update this to demonstrate that it is released. But if you are remotely curious on a lot of the kind of side aspects of this map, because there's a lot of side things going on, then I would definitely say you should come and take a look at this, because there's a whole police department, fire department, road maintenance department that you can go and learn about. This map has a lot of role play outside of farming that is going to be available. So it's really, really interesting. So for example, here we have the road maintenance depot, and then we have construction sites 1, 2, 3, and 4. We also have a police department, and the police department is going to be located right here down toward the bottom. And there's a jail within the police department, and we have a fire department. It's the fire station, and then we have a helicopter landing pad. Then we have various firefighting things that we can trigger on the map. There's a traffic accident. There's actually an airplane crash over here too that isn't being shown up on this map. So I definitely suggest going and check that out. Again, I'm going to leave a link to that down in the description below. Let's get back over here to our description on the Giants Mod Hub. Welcome to Ostbeck, a fictional island in the Baltic Sea that offers unique adventures and a lively community in Farming Simulator 22. What Ostbeck has to offer are 19 fields, including 3 meadows for farming adventures, dense forest, and majestic trees for exciting forestry experiences, including 1 large wooded area, 1 medium forest area on a villa hill, a small forest by the river, and challenges as firefighting or police officers to ensure public safety. There are production facilities scattered around the map, including a sawmill, 5 greenhouses, a spinnery, grape processing, dairy, sugar mill, and more. Several also building sites await you to put your own buildings down. Now, this I also believe is a role-playing aspect, because I looked all over the map and I could not find a bus to take a ride on. But anyway, the opportunity to take a bus tour, I will try to demonstrate that here in a little bit as well. Functioning traffic light system for realistic road traffic experience. An option to sit down on certain benches and enjoy the surroundings. But in order to do that in multiplayer, you will need the Kubota pack. There's also a single farm on the map with a BGA, 2 mobile silos, large vehicle shed, 2 shelters, and a farmhouse. There's a cow shed and pigsty for animal farming, and you do start with some animals. Various sell outlets on the island, including supermarket, pizzeria, restaurant, and farmer's market. There's a fire station with 6 parking spaces, 4 fire engines, a playground where you can use the swings to take a break from the hustle and bustle, an extremely detailed map that shows every corner of the island with attention to detail and places worth exploring outside of your normal gameplay. Road maintenance department with vehicle shed, workshop, bulk materials such as earth, sand, gravel to keep the island roads and paths in perfect condition. And with that, let's go ahead and load on into this map. We will be using the mods we typically use when we look at maps. They are additional field info, additional game settings, animal food overview, field lease, field calculator, precision farming, and straw harvest. Now, I'll tell you, if you load this map up in farm management or start from scratch, you will find that the main farm is built out exactly how you see it here in New Farmer mode. In addition, you do have starting machinery in all play modes. Therefore, the only difference is you do not own any land, and of course, your bank balances will be different. Now, with respect to low-end systems, I did find that I had 0 issues whatsoever in maintaining a solid 60 frames per second wherever I was looking on this map with a low-end system with integrated graphics. let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. Now, this map is a little bit smaller than a standard size map. We can basically say that a standard size map is going to be approximately the inside of this big square. And then we can see how small the landmass is within that. I would say that this is probably a map that is about 20% the size of a standard map. Now, with respect to our crops, we do have all the crops available to us in FS22 available here, including our red beets, carrots, and parsnips from the premium expansion. If we go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen, our farmland screen, we start by owning farmlands 1, 2, and 48. Farmland 48 in any alternate game mode can be bought for $319,848. That is the main starting farm. In addition, we have fields farmland 1 and 2, which are basically also fields 1 and 2 as well. There is also several other viable areas on the map. We have several houses here within the forest. They are kind of purchasable with respect to roleplay, as well as several areas here within the town itself. Let's go and take a look at our farmland lease screen. This is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, if those farmlands include any field or fields, what is included. Then lastly, how much is that farmland going to cost us? We can then compare that with our field calculator screen, and we can see that our fields are going to be ranging anywhere from less than 1 hectare in size all the way up to 4.2. That is going to be for field 2, which we do own at the start. This map is making use of the generic soil map, so let's go ahead and see how that is being applied to these fields. To the west and south, we have a lot of loamy sand and sandy loam. To the north of the island, we've got a bit of loam and silty clay mixed in. Let's go ahead and take a look at our crop counter. We do have the standard base game crop counter available to us here on this map. And if we take a look down through our prices screen, you will see that we do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game crops that are available to us here, again, in FS22. In addition, we do have the ability to sell our eggs, wool, and milk, and our silage, hay, straw, and grass. As we continue down through all of the base game production items, once again, we do continue to have that trend where we have the ability to sell all of our base game production items as well. In addition to that, we do have the ability to buy and sell lime, and then we also have the ability to sell our stones. Now, in addition to that, we do have some additional fill types in asphalt, ballast, stones, dirt, and sand. All of those are purchasable and sellable as well. Now, with respect to other fill types that are available, the farm production pack, we do not have the ability to sell any of our washed vegetables by default, nor do we have the ability to sell any of the platinum expansion production items either. So if you are looking to maybe do a little bit of platinum expansion production, you will need to put down your own sell point and production item. With respect to the premium expansion productions, well, as the story seems to be standard, we do have the ability to sell our premium expansions and productions. If you are playing with pumps and hoses, we do have the ability to sell our separated manure. And if you are playing with straw harvest, we do have the ability of getting rid of our hay and straw pellets. As far as our starting machinery goes, we start out with a decent listing of starting machinery. A lot of it is brand new, but there are some pieces of machinery that do have a little bit of wear on them. And there are some other pieces of machinery with a little bit of age. Now we have 5 pigs and 6 cows on our starting farm. We do have contracts available on this map. And as far as production chains owned at the start, we own the BGA. We also own the sugar mill, grain mill, spinnery, dairy, cereal, and oil mill. As far as collectibles, this map does have 20 collectibles. They are custom lighthouses. So I will show you where one of those custom lighthouses is located, and I'll leave it up to you to find the rest. Here we have our starting farm with our sleep trigger and our pick 'em up truck. This is the Halt by the Rune farmhouse, so we also then do have our wardrobe trigger over here in the garage. Main farm is just out the gate and down the lane. Started here with our base game pig area, so we have our slurry point. Then on the other side of the facility, we have our food and we have our pig drop off. We can hold a total of 108 pigs in this facility. And as I mentioned, we already have 5. We then have our base game cow area. We have our slurry point over here. Of course, we have our food and straw triggers within side of here. And on the other side of the building, we're going to find our animal drop-off as well as our milk trigger. We can put a total of 80 cows in here, of which we already have 6. We have our milk trigger. And a little bit of a pasture for our cows to meander. Now, with respect to this farm and its customization capabilities, well, we can sell a lot of the things on this farm, but there are certain things that we cannot. Most notably, there are some deco elements tied to some of these buildings, and these light poles are permanently affixed as part of the map. We do have some bees here on the starting farm, so we have our bee trigger right here by our cows. We also have a fuel storage tank beside the cows. Nice easy shed for our implement storage. We have 2 pull-through silage bunkers here behind that easy shed. We have a large beehive. And then around the back we have slurry storage. And we have then our base game silo with our dump and fill point. And then we take it right on out here to the water's edge. Now I'm a little concerned about our slurry pit being right here so close to the water. Back up to the farm, we have our biogas plant. So we have our dump point for our slurry or manure. We have our digester, we have our interactive icon, and we have our digestate output. In addition to other things that do not sell, while we can sell the BGA, these deco buildings beside the BGA are also permanent with the map. We have another easy shed, and then we have a large contractor yard, our contractor shed. And this is where we're going to find the rest of our machinery. And that is pretty much where we stand with respect to the starting farm. Now we do have the ability to sell a lot of these fences that are also around the perimeter of the starting farm. But again, we do have various deco items like these light poles that are permanent. So with respect to the farm being customizable, we are going to give the map a score of 0.75. Let's get a little bit of altitude and we can kind of take a little bit of a look around. There is a whole lot going on with this map. A lot of details, as was mentioned in the description. And even if you're not going to play on this map, quite frankly, it is worth downloading. It is worth loading up and just spending an hour or 2. Just kind of driving around and seeing what there is to explore. Because there is an awful lot to explore here. You could spend a lot of time on this map just doing roleplay things. Because again, there's so much going on. Now we're going to do our aerial tour by making our way over here to the west. We have 5 greenhouses located over here. These are all part of the built-in productions. These are all base game greenhouses. Right, so we have our trigger points where we would expect them to. We have our pallet outputs. They're all clearly marked. Now as far as productions go, this map has a total of 14 different productions. We have the Sawmill, which is located right here, right by the greenhouses. We have a grape processor. We also have the 5 greenhouses that we just mentioned. We have the BGA at the main starting farm, a sugar mill, grain mill, spinnery, dairy, cereal, and oil factory. Now here's one of those various interactive things that we can role play with. So we've got some security fencing up. We've got a kind of a hunk of asphalt that's been cut away. Well, if we come over here, we have a little trigger. And if we come up to this trigger, it basically says, dismantle the construction site barrier. So if we do that, that is all just then put away. And then we have this other trigger that comes in that says, dismantle construction site barrier. A little confusing since it's the same wording. But when we click it, oh, looky here. It's been patched and fixed. Right, so you can role play coming in here and taking the barrier down, doing work to fill this up, and when you're done, well, you can just hit this trigger and presto, there you go. Now, at our sawmill, we do have our pallet spawn point. We have our interactive icon. We have our wood cell trigger. We have our wood cell point. It would be nice to see the markers indicating clearly where that is. And then we have our wood chip fill point. We're going to make our way through the woods here. And we have a fuel storage. And I believe this is going to be our road maintenance department. So then here we have some nice role play lifts. We activate the trigger and then it'll go up. If you do have a vehicle on the lift, it will go up and it will then come back down. To lower it, we're just going to come up here to the trigger again and click on that. Got some office space for the road department. And then we're going to be able to come in here and basically purchase these various fill types that are on the map. So we have our sand, our stone, our dirt. Then lots of machinery storage. Again, for us to roleplay what we need to roleplay for our road maintenance. Continue to make our way west to the southern part of the island. We've got some fields here. We have some of the houses that I mentioned that you can buy. And at least one of these, I was able to go inside of this one. I didn't try going inside all of them. And then, like it was also mentioned in the description, there are some benches where we can just sit and relax, enjoy ourselves. And these benches are just scattered around the map. You know you're near one when you come up and it says enter vehicle. And you can just enter and hop a little squat on a bench. We do have a beach located down here. And, well, we've got an airplane crash. So you can come and role play with that. Continue to make our way down the southern part of the map. We have airplanes, we have hot air balloons. We have a grocery buy point. We have a fuel point, our pizzeria, our restaurant, and then this is the fire station. All right, we can come inside. We have various bays we can do stuff in. Right, so all of this is set up for a whole lot of roleplay, a lot more than just doing some simple farming. We've seen on the image of the map download that we can ride a swing. Well, that swing is located right here. We just hit enter and, well, off we go. We also have some nice little animations with respect to our character doing the kick and tuck of your legs. Oh, we got a nice couple of different camera angles of our relaxing. And there we go. We also can shoot some hoops. 2 points. Excellent. make our way down the kind of narrow part of the island. We got a little patrol boat going on here. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. We have our dock. And we have our lighthouse. And we have another one of these little triggers. Switch on and now... Oh my gosh, the lighthouse is on fire, people. Call it sirens. This is a 4-alarmer. We need this taken care of real lickety-split. Any rate, again, lots of opportunities to do roleplay. All you gotta do is go around and find these cool little activation triggers. And the website I mentioned at the start of the video will definitely help in locating some of those. They're kind of a ferry landing there. We have our spinnery, so we're dump point. We have our interactive icon, our pallet spawn point. Up here we got a lot going on. So we're going to have a lime at buy point. We have a storage silo. We have our dairy. Our cereal factory. This is going to be our flour mill. Then we have our oil mill. We got some sort of trigger here that is likely related to some sort of roleplay going on. We have our sugar mill. Oh, we turn on another fire. We have a dumpster fire. Oh my gosh, we do. We've got a dumpster fire. Now, over here, we also have some fun stuff going on. And with respect to the bus ride, this is where we're going to find that trigger as well. So here we've got the barrier, right? We got, clearly we're working on some pipe, or what should be some pipe. And we come over here, we can take the barrier down, and then we can complete the job. And then this is signpost switch on for the bus. So if we click on that, now we suddenly have signs out there in the street, kind of directing us where to go. So I feel that this is not so much a literal hop in a bus and take it around the map. I feel like this is another one of those roleplay features where you could roleplay you're in a bus, or maybe if you have a bus mod, well, you can add the bus mod, and then you come in here and basically drive and follow these roads or follow these signs around to do your bus tour. We have then our bus stops marked. And once you stop here to let people on or off, right, we continue on to another bus stop. You can get on here, get off here, and then when you get done with that, you can do your loop. We got our sign. Then we need to go this way. Here we have the police station. And we saw in the police station on the mod download site that there's actually a jail. Come in here, we're gonna find the... Uh-oh, this is where they strip down people. Alright, we need... Uh-oh, we get to go in. Lock up one. I don't want to do that. Maybe there's no trigger in there if we go in the lockup. Alright, so again, fun little things going on here. it's definitely worth downloading, even if you're not going to play it, just to experience some of these cool little things. So we're going to continue our little bus route. We got to go this way. And then we're going to go this way. And we have one of those construction sites for role play. And we make our turn. And we're going to come up to another bus stop. There's another one of these little fire icons. Now, when I activated this, I couldn't tell what was going on. I don't know what's on fire, but something is clearly on fire here. I just don't know what it is. And this is the road maintenance department. I hope I didn't catch the road maintenance department on fire. Oh, wait. Oh, is it? Oh, is it because we turned on the car accident? And then we're just going to keep making our way around. Oh, we got to turn this way. Come around to another bus stop. And then we will eventually make our way all the way back into town. Right, so really, really cool. Really, really cool setup here. And I mentioned I was going to show you where one of the collectibles was. So let's just come over here. We could... No, we can't sit and play chess. That would be too cool. But remember, there's little collectibles. Little miniature lighthouses here on this map. So with respect to our scoring, we're going to begin the map at full point with respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such. In addition, we're going to begin the map at full point with respect to the ability to sell all of our basic crops, animal outputs, and production points. We're going to take a quarter of a point off with respect to the ability to customize the main farm, because there are some various deco elements that will be remaining on the main farm if you do try to sell all the buildings. Buildings where appropriate are using the new texturing technique. And let's go ahead and take a look at our round textures. Under painting, we've got fairly standard ground textures here. And a fairly standard listing of flowers and shrubbery. So we are going to map a full point there as well. And then trigger and interactive areas being clearly marked. Well, before we get to that one, let's come over here to the vehicle shop. Way back here in town. We were right here, and then we didn't get to the shop or the animal dealer. This won't take long. Just to fly back here to town real quick. Because, well, this is key. We're going to have to take a little bit of points off because of the vehicle shop. And I do wish that this wasn't the case, because I do think that this map is really neat and interesting in its own right. With the various roleplay things that are built in. And if you're not into the roleplay stuff, well, that's fine. You just don't need to do it. So over here we have our animal dealer. I guess this is the Noah's Ark. This is the Ark. And we're just pulling them straight off the Ark in pairs. And then we have our vehicle shop right next door. So we have our trigger to buy vehicles here at the desk. And then our vehicles are going to spawn outside the front parking lot. So a decent sized area for our vehicles to spawn in at, but nothing huge. But again, this map really isn't all that big. Now, with respect to our dealer trigger, it's around here in the back. So we have our dealer trigger located right here. And if we go inside, we have, just like we saw at our service center for our road maintenance, we do have a lift that we can play with. And we have some markers laid out here. But this is not the dealer trigger for maintenance. It would be neat if it was, but it's not. So the actual trigger for dealer maintenance is out here. And it is not marked at all. So we are going to have to take a quarter of a point off with respect to triggers being marked and everything clearly ready to go. I wish there was markings here. So that's going to wrap this map up with a score of 4.5 out of 5. We took a quarter point off with respect to the farms being customizable, and a quarter point off here with respect to the triggers being clearly marked and easily identifiable. Let me know what you all think of this map down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.